There's a new video of me online where I'm talking about, I have 16 albums out, and I went and said the word newbie, and Daniel Barrett, who's the producer on the singer-songwriter stuff, he says on the video, he says, you can no longer use the word newbie. You have 16 albums out. You are no longer a newbie. Stop saying that. Here I am saying it again. So I feel like one compared to these legends of music that I hang around. I mean, Melissa Etheridge and the whole roster. But we go in and I might fool around with something, not knowing what I'm doing, but it'll sound good to me. I can't explain it because I don't know music theory and I don't know my notes. And that's where he might say something like, hey, I really like what you're doing there. Can you do that again? And I'll go, oh, what were they doing? And I'll try to replay it in my mind. So do you hear the process? The inspiration comes in and becomes the intention. We're going to make music. Then we will schedule it, earth level stuff. I'm going to come over to your studio. But I think it's essential that we clear ourselves. This is really advanced hooponopono, advanced creating, if you will, of anything that would be in the way of making music. Because I know from other experiences that if we go into the studio and I got stuff on my mind, I'm not going to be able to receive inspiration. Even my playing, it could be more angry or there could be more frustration. It'll show up. We don't want that in something called healing music. Then when we record, and he has learned to record everything. Just
half the time he doesn't know we're recording. I'll be like, that was great. He's like, we were recording? I'm like, yep. That just came out. Let's take it.
Yeah, we
always hit record.
Always hit record, yes. And more often than not, when we're done, we look at each other and there's a sense of overwhelming gratitude, astonishment, awe, because we'll go, that was really incredible, and that was beautiful, and where did it come from? I would sum it up and say it came from the great something. So that's my overview. What am I leaving out, or you want to add?
No, I think you got it all. The only thing that I would stress is that it's that concept going back to being clear. Just like with Dr. Hulen telling me, hey, it didn't rain, somebody's doing it, but having no idea the impact that it's going to have. That's essentially how we end up feeling when we get everything clear, we get the intentions out, we release everything, and then, not hopefully, but that is when the inspiration comes through. I'd say the other thing I'd only add to it is we also, and what we're going to do today, we've never done before, so I don't know what we're going to experience exactly. But we always end up going back in and adding to the pieces. A lot of you heard the music. There's a lot of stuff going on in there, other parts. And because in the studio you can do that. We never try to make it what we think it should be, with the exception of maybe putting those drum beats at a higher tempo. Instead, or in some respects too, like aligning to zero in those, we did pick the key of the song. We went, okay, we know that this song needs to be in this key, so it's resonating with this vibration. But beyond that, we don't fight what comes up at all. And there's been some crazy moment. The one that always gets me is I grabbed a bass, which I almost never do, and he grabbed 2 different harmonicas.
Oh yeah, I remember that moment.
And they were in 2 different keys?
I had 2 different harmonicas and 2 different keys. And I remember telling him, I got this wild idea, it's just hitting me. I want to play both harmonicas. They're in 2 different keys. I'm going to play one, what's called cross position. I'm going to play the other one in straight position. And he's like, there's no bass track on this track that I remember.
Yeah, I'm like, at least let me put something in there so we have some type of harmony idea. That was my inspiration for for the moment. And then, yeah.
I just said, I got to do this. Yeah. I may not come out.
It was one of my favorite
songs. We can delete it.
Well, we recorded the whole song. It was like a 5-minute song in one take. I mean, that was it. He was just switching harmonicas when he wanted to. By the way, doesn't he sound like a newbie when he's talking about cross-harping? I gotta get this cross harp here and go to this key here. And I'm like, I'm sitting in the corner going, why you got 2 different harmonicas? What am I gonna play?
So do you hear the principles here? There's even the principles of trusting yourself, trusting your partner. We're trusting ourselves here. He could have just stopped me and said, 2 harmonicas, 2 different keys. No, that's not going to work. Don't even
cray.
Unplug, go to lunch. No, he was willing to go with the flow. He was willing to try it. He had faith in the possibility of it. And so we wanted to narrate all of this. You can apply it to whatever you're doing. It doesn't have to be music, it's writing for you, or it's something else, speaking for somebody else, or whatever it is that you want to create. Apply these advanced principles to it. Inspiration leads to the intention, leads to clearing. If you have a partner, you want to both be clear in whatever it is that you're trying to create. And then you go in there trusting yourself that you're going to let this unfold.
I'm going to add one other
goes.
thing that
Yeah.
I have noticed, and I don't think I've even ever mentioned it to you. I probably shouldn't mention it. Can you plug your ears while I... One of the things that does happen when we're recording, now sometimes, like in the instance of the two harmonicas, that whole thing just rolled and it was perfect. And we like to just keep recording. Like I said, I record everything. We just keep going because mistakes can be taken out. You can turn the volume down. There's editing that can be done. What I have noticed is, and I probably noticed it more with my playing, is when I hear a mistake, I notice that after the mistake is something really great. And I've started noticing that more and more and more when I'm listening back to my tracks. And sometimes it's not even a mistake, it's just a buzz or something weird. And I've come to believe that what that is that's when maybe I'm not being completely clear. That's when I start to think a little too much. Start to go, oh, well, maybe I should go over to this lick I've played over here a million times before because I'm not sure what to do here. And as soon as that starts happening, you start to have the problems. Now, there's a saying in music that if you make a mistake once, it's a mistake. But if you make a mistake twice, it's jazz. Think about that one. So yeah, I've just seen that in the process, especially when I'm doing the editing and stuff. It's like,
Brian Eno says, trust a mistake as a hidden intention. And it's worth thinking for a minute. So if you do make a mistake, and whatever it is that you're doing, pause and look at it and go, well, maybe this is trying to take me somewhere. At least for a moment. Give it a moment of
and that's what I was saying, is
awareness.
usually after the mistake is the beautiful thing. And I kind of go, oh, there it is. Couldn't I have just got there without the mistake?
We have a question over here.
When you come up to the microphone, there's an observation to this that I just made when you were talking about when you worked as a team, as a couple, you are on the same energy level because you've done all this work ahead of time.
Yeah, you share it.
And shared. They don't do that when they're, when they're out recording with the breaks, big breaks, whatever. Not that you're not a big break, but when you're up there, you might suggest it, but I think that there's an energy thing here.
I think that's a great observation. I would agree.
I would totally agree.
So before we do this, are you all familiar with ha breathing? Yeah. You know what that is? Okay, some don't. That's okay. Ha breathing is a Hawaiian breathing technique. Dr. Hulen taught it to all of us in the different seminars. I think it's in one of the Zero Limits or the follow-up. And what I'd like you to do is this ha breathing, H-A, ha breathing. And it's very simple. The mudra, hand position, is you're just touching these together, the thumb and the first finger, and holding your hands in your lap like this. Okay, very simple, like a little lotus petal thing. And then you're breathing in to the count of 7. At your own pace, you're just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was actually kind of fast. But do your own pace, breathing in to the count of 7. Hold to the count of 7. Breathe out to the count of 7. Hold to the count of 7. And repeat 7 times. So this is a process of cleaning the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, mental, soul, cleaning all of you. And it seems to me while we're playing, so you don't just sit there and stare at us, but do the ha breathing as we do our little playing up here, and the combined effect can have this advanced clearing experience for you. So do you get it? Ha breathing, count in 7, hold 7, out 7, hold 7, and do it for 7 rounds, 7 rounds of it.